Hello friends, today Press Information Bureau of India organized a very informative webinar on mucormycosis, that is commonly known as black fungus, and COVID-19. Dr. Rajiv is a very senior doctor who talked about these two burning topics. He also answered certain questions of many people. So do watch the webinar carefully.
Viral infection, does it spread through air? Like COVID-19 is spread through by we are maintaining physical distancing to avoid this infection spreading from human to human. So does mucormycosis spread through air also? Because
Yeah.
this inhaling steam is also connected with that because they think it enters through your nose and then the steam inhalation will kill those. So is there any connection between it?
Okay. For one thing, steam does not kill mucor because the spores are active even at 130 degrees centigrade. Okay. Steam is at the most it's 100 degrees, and your internal linings will be burnt off if you push in steam at that temperature. So please get that out of your head that you're going to kill mucor or virus from steam. That is exactly what I said. People have this false notion that if you push steam inside your nose or your mouth, you're going to kill virus and bacteria. That's wrong. I want everybody to understand that very, very clearly. That's one. Second is, if you look around your environment, as I mentioned, this fungus spreads by spores. So spores are tiny seeds that float around in the air. And why does bread in the kitchen catch mold? Because there is spores in the air. So likewise, we can't escape spores in the air. They're around us everywhere. You can't wear a mask and get rid of them. And what's important is to know that they don't spread from person to person. So if suppose you're taking care of a person who has this infection, you're not going to pick up the spores from that person because you had the spores from other sources anyway. So the point is, spores are universal. Fungal spores are all around the place, and that's why I gave the example of the kitchen table and the piece of bread. They're everywhere. So if you keep if you keep a piece of bread or cheese on the kitchen table, it's going to catch mold, and that's exactly what I meant. So you don't have to worry about it spreading from person to person or whether you'll catch it in the air. It is in the air.
Taking regular steam damage or good bacteria in the body? So
That's a good question. See, the problem with steam is it does not come in a fixed dose. So if you take a tablet of paracetamol, it comes in either typically 500 milligrams or 650 milligrams. So you know that if you pop a tablet of paracetamol, we know that you are taking X milligram per kilogram. So we can correctly titrate the dose of paracetamol as required for the person. But steam is different. See, steam, if you ask 10 people how they take steam, you'll get 10 different answers, which means that they're taking it in different methods, different styles, different intensity. And people who trust these WhatsApp messages tend to burn their inside. They take excessive amounts. So we are talking here about excessive and damaging types of use of steam. If all of us have taken steam for a mild cold, it gives you a sense of relief. It's almost like taking a hot bath. You take a hot bath, you feel good after that. It's pretty much, it gives you no more benefit to your body apart from symptomatic relief. Right? Symptomatic relief is fine. So when you have a temperature, if you put a cold towel on your forehead, you feel so good. Right. Likewise, if you take mild steam when you're having a cold, you feel good because for whatever reason. But it does not, I repeat, it does not kill viruses. And that is the message here. If you try to burn your insides using a device that can potentially burn your tissues off, that's a bad idea. The reason is, I'll take you back to high school physics. This is basic high school physics. Did you know that steam burns are more serious than boiling water? It's a question that you see in every entrance examination. Why is that? Because there is something called latent heat of vaporization. Now, I'll request those who are interested to kindly read up latent heat of vaporization. Latent heat of vaporization is basically the amount of heat that is exchanged when steam is formed. And that's a huge amount of energy. And an equal amount of energy has to be reimbursed when steam reconverts back to water. And that heat is taken up by the tissue. And that is why steam burns are serious. So which is why in an unregulated, unsupervised environment, I would recommend not using it. But if you take very mild steam inhalation with no additional supplements to it. Please don't put whatever leaves or whatever it is that you want to, at least for COVID-19, please don't do that for my sake, please, because it will not help you. Trust me, it will not help you. But if you want to have mild symptomatic relief, plain a little bit of very gentle steam, if you want to use it for symptomatic relief, I don't have a problem with that. But my best advice is don't use it, because after all, it does not help COVID-19.